Coming from.
That's probably our Roman.
Okay.
Perfect. Hi guys, I'm George from DoraHacks and welcome to the Saga Multiverse Hackathon project demo session, sponsored by Spheron and Scenario. So thank you for your support, guys. I'll be your host and moderator for this demo session. So please feel free to reach out to me at any time and via my Telegram at George Dora if you'd like to connect and chat more about building a project or any further support that you may require. So with us today for this demo session, we have two judges. We have KHAI, the Chief Operating Officer at LongHash, and we also have Stephen from Merit Circle, and he's the Head of Investment and Partnerships. So thanks for joining us today, and it's great to have you guys here to provide some feedback and ask some valuable questions to the presenting team. So thanks a lot, guys. We also have got Rex and James from the Saga team with us. We're also going to give a little bit of an intro after me. So thanks, guys, for joining us. Good to have you here again. So for just a little bit of background on the hackathon, DoraHacks is very proud to support Saga on their first multiverse hackathon, where we were able to challenge many gaming developers to see the possibilities of building using Saga's infrastructure. So the hackathon was very successful with over 50 submissions, and we will see a fair few of them receive a share of the prize pool, which is great. So to view all of the projects who submitted to the Saga hackathon, feel free to visit dorahacks.io/hackathon/saga, or you can just go on the dorahacks.io website, click on the hackathon tab and find the hackathon in there. So with us today presenting, we've got four fantastic projects who will be giving us a demo. They are Flipando, Override, Sneaker Hunt, Z Creative Media. So those are the four that we'll be hearing from today. So for the audience, please feel free to share any questions that you may have during the session, and I'll ask these questions at the end. So without further ado, I guess I will welcome Rex and James to say a few words.
Thank you. My name is Rex St. John. I work on ecosystem at Saga. We're super excited to have our second demo day. The first one was last Friday, and we covered our multiverse collaboration. We had multiple teams talking about how they'd work together to produce joint collaborative projects. And the video for that is live on YouTube, I believe, on DoraHacks, and we'll probably be shifting it over to Saga shortly. Today, we've got four interesting teams set to demo: Flipando, Sneaker Hunt, Override, and Z Creative. And thanks to our judges from LongHash and Merit Circle. James, would you like to introduce yourself a little bit?
Yes, definitely. Thank you, Rex. I'm James, head of product here at Saga, and work with the teams to help figure out kind of how they want to roll out, how they want to launch, and getting interactive with Saga and with our chainlets. And so it's been an exciting journey, being able to actually launch your own dedicated block space in just a couple of keystrokes. It's kind of a dream that the entire Saga team has had for some time now, and really bringing that to a reality and showing that you can actually, provide an environment where, you don't have to worry about congestion. It's dedicated block space. You have more controls over how and what you want to do, especially for your token model, your economic model. And really, basically, it's kind of decoupling as we move into our incentivized testnet, and then, of course, our mainnet, being able to decouple and go to a gasless model. So you're not having to worry specifically about all these transaction fees that are taking place. So you're able to decouple those transaction fees and then bring them back into the community. So it's been really great, especially we've kind of had a pretty significant focus on gaming, but DeFi applications are looking at this as well. So it's been great. I just wanted to thank everybody for participating. Thanks, Rex.
Thank you. So I would like to take a moment to have our judges introduce themselves. Just say a little bit about your project or host company, I suppose. And then we can go into demos. So KHAI Wei, would you like to give a quick introduction?
Sure thing. Hi, everyone. KHAI here, partner from LongHash Ventures. And LongHash, we've been bootstrapping ecosystems since 2018. We've run the first accelerators for Polkadot, Filecoin, XLR. And right now, we are recruiting for our ZK cohort and also looking forward to a Cosmos cohort coming up. And from our fund, we invest in multi-chain infrastructure, and very proud to be supporting Saga alongside other strong players like ZK Sync, Safe, and many others. And yeah, really excited to see what everybody has been building so far.
Very cool. Stephen.
Shout out LongHash. Hey everyone, good to be here. Yeah, I'm Stephen from Merit Circle. Been in the team now for 8 weeks. A bit about Merit Circle, it's a Web3 gaming DAO. It's been around about 2 years now. We have 4 verticals. The first vertical is investments. We're active in the investment space, specifically in Web3 gaming, both studios and infrastructure. We have a studios division where we partner and support gaming studios. We have a gaming platform to help grow out different gaming ecosystems, economies, be involved in alpha and beta testing and launching of games. And then the part we're most excited about at the moment is Beam, which is a layer 2 AVAX subnet. This brings together all of our gaming experience. And we're launching this quite soon with a lot of top partners. And our subnet is really around gaming and how we're bringing back sort of to Web 2 gaming again, where none of the infrastructure is particularly required anymore for clicking and signing transactions, creating wallets. We're removing all of that to have a frictionless gaming experience. Really excited to be here and look forward to reviewing these projects today. Thank you.
Thank you. So here's the agenda for today. Looks like we're going to start with Override, and I will advance to Jason if you're able to speak while we're waiting for the rest of the projects to join. And I can flip to your slides here. So are you able to talk, Jason?
Yep.
Cool. Feel free to take over and I can advance the slides. And the format is we'll go through your slides and just let me know when I need to advance and then show a demo. Then we'll have some time for Q&A after that before demoing further projects.
Sure. Just a quick question. Do I have to demo the project live?
That would be ideal. Or you have a video of it? Yeah.
No, I'd actually prefer like demoing it live.
Okay, yeah.
That's cool.
Can, yeah. So
Okay,
I can
cool.
just get into it.
Yeah, just sure. I'll okay, fine, that's cool. Hey everyone, my name is Jason. I'm the solo hacker here on Override, the novel GameFi protocol that we built on a Saga chainlet. Please advance.
Yep.
Yeah. So basically, the idea behind Override is we are essentially taking the Web 2 aspect of like puzzle games and bringing that to Web 3. So essentially, Override is a puzzle game that takes inspiration from proof of work, gaming, and community building. Essentially, you have like traditionally you have puzzle pieces, and Web3 basically converted each of these puzzle pieces as an NFT in a different collection. And so users must collaborate with each other to solve and gain the puzzle pieces to solve like the final puzzle, which afterwards becomes then a unique mintable NFT. Please advance. So how does this work generally? So as a high-level overview, please advance. This is a representation of like a final solved puzzle, right? Once people are able to solve this puzzle, this will be their NFT. Please advance. So what we do in the beginning of the campaign period, we split, let's say, a random photo into n different pieces. So in the demo that I'm going to be demoing, basically, we basically taken an image and split that into, I think, 16 pieces. And so these 16 pieces are essentially what your puzzle pieces will be. So now let's say that a random person goes on to, let's say a user wants to basically play the game, right? So they go onto our platform and they essentially receive a random set of puzzle pieces. So they open a specific puzzle pack, which is completely random. It distributes random pieces and gives it to each user. Please advance. And what happens is a user does not get all the pieces to solve a particular puzzle. So what happens is that user must go onto our marketplace, which is it's some sort of NFT marketplace representation that they can basically collaborate with other users on the platform to like swap and trade different NFT pieces. Please advance. And the final goal basically is to solve the puzzle, right? So you collect your pieces, and the first person to collect and arrange all the pieces are able to solve the puzzle and are thus able to mint the final NFT. Please advance. Okay, so I'm demonstrate
Yeah,
this?
take over.
Yeah, please.
Just go ahead and share.
I'm unable to share, actually. I think because you're sharing a screen.
I think you'll need to be promoted or something.
No, I can share my screen. Hold on.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, just confirm you can see my screen.
Yep.
Okay, so basically this is the website, right? You go to overridesaga.versal.com and you basically, hold on, I can't. Yeah, you basically have to connect to the override Saga chainlet and you are ready to get started. So basically the idea is that you have an existing puzzle. So these are all the puzzles that are available on override. It takes a while. Give it a while, right? So this is the, okay, I apologize, it takes a while to load because a lot of things moving in the background. But essentially what we have right now is we have one puzzle and we've named that surface area. It's basically like a photo of the Microsoft Surface Area laptop on a screen. Give it a while. Apologies in advance. Yeah, okay. So this is the puzzle basically, and you have your unique pieces. Now, for a random user on the platform, you may not have these pieces. So what you want to do is you want to go to the packs tab and basically try to purchase a pack. Now, this pack will basically give you access to a random set of puzzle pieces for a puzzle. Now, assume that you have like 10 different puzzles that are currently active on the platform. You will get maybe a random assortment of puzzle pieces from these games. So give it a while. Yeah. So basically what you want to do is you pay 1 ETH or you want T-Saga, and you're basically able to like purchase a pack. Give it a while for it to confirm. Yeah. And once your purchase is successful, you can refresh the page. And you can see I have another pack here. If I open the pack, these are all the puzzle pieces that I've got for the current active puzzle, which is surface area. So moving on to surface area, these are the puzzles basically. Now with all the pieces that you've got from your pack, you can basically try to assemble them on the puzzle board. Now this is a nice draggable interface that we developed. So basically what you want to do is you want to drag them onto the board and arrange them as best as you can. And then once you've done that, you can basically verify your puzzle. You can, and then an algorithm will like verify whether it's actually correct. And if it is, and if you're the first person to collect all the puzzle pieces, you're able to mint the NFT. What I want to demonstrate right now is the marketplace. And that, I think this is one of the unique selling points of our application, is the fact that we have a marketplace where people can actually collaborate with each other. And so basically, like any traditional marketplace, like OpenSea, for example, you have one NFT and you want to like trade it with another NFT, you can basically do so by creating a listing on the platform, right? These are all the listings that are available. So basically, I created this, so I'm not able to swap. But basically what I want to do is add a listing. So let's say that I have an excess of these puzzle pieces and I want to like swap it with this one, right? Yeah, I can do so, add the listing, confirm the transaction, and it'll be put up on the marketplace. And then any other user that wants my puzzle piece and has something that I want can basically accept the listing, fulfill the listing, and I'm able to collect the pieces. So that's really a quick demonstration of override. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm happy to answer them. That's pretty cool. You can just add the listing there.
Cool. Any questions? Right. Oh, go ahead.
Should I stop sharing? Oh, I'll just keep it on for now. Yeah.
Any questions from the judges on this particular project?
Yeah, could you talk through the backend and which parts like touch the chain, or is it just the NFT minting at the end?
Sure. So there's a lot of like moving parts in the background. Basically, everything works on the blockchain. here's the page. Everything works. Everything basically talks to a smart contract. So right now we have like a pretty extensive backend. So we have like the contracts obviously written in Solidity. Then we have like different graph workers, some background scripts to basically analyze and try to optimize all your listings. Then I think what we like to do in the future is like deploy all these puzzle pieces on like the IPFS. But basically, just to make it short, the reason why it's taking so long is because we have a lot of moving pieces, a lot of things we need to fetch from the contracts and back. So yeah, just to answer your question, basically everything works with smart contracts.
And so every puzzle piece is an NFT or part of a collection.
Right. So when the puzzle campaign starts, so when someone creates an active puzzle, each individual piece in the, I guess you could say the puzzle collection is an individual NFT. And once you've effectively solved the puzzle, here we go. Once you've effectively solved the puzzle, that entire solved puzzle becomes another NFT in that collection.
Okay. So, well, NFTs and collections are pretty well established. So what are we adding here? Like, what's the innovation here?
Basically, we are adding the unique elements of trying to build this on by taking inspiration from like proof of work, gaming, and community building, right? The idea behind, I think the main selling point behind Override is the fact that we allow users to collaborate with each other and play a very familiar game. It's a puzzle game. People are used to that. But we're trying to bring that and introduce Web3 elements to it, right? And so while it also is while it also helps people familiarize themselves, like I guess you could say if it helps, there's a low barrier of entry to play this game, but basically it also introduces new users to Web3 concepts like NFTs, what are collections, and things like that. So yeah.
Thank you.
What do you see your target market being? What's their user journey going to be? How much would a normal person involved in this pay to play this game?
So the idea right now is users only have to pay for transaction fees and to purchase a pack. So which is currently 1 Ether or 1 T-Saga. We are thinking of adopting a more I guess you could say meta transactions. Basically, users don't necessarily have to pay for their transaction fees, but I think the model that we have currently, people purchase a pack by paying something. I think this is the current revenue model that we have. But in terms of users,
like $2,000 around.
No, so right now it's 1 T-Saga, right? We probably might like scale down the price to like maybe $1, less than $1 or something.
$1.
This is just for representation right now.
Who would you, is this like Web3 native people playing this? Do you expect everyone's mum and dad to start jumping on and playing this type of game? What's the typical user?
Well, that's the idea, right? We're trying to provide a low barrier of entry for people into Web3 as well. So people that have completely no experience with Web3 can basically play this game and are also introduced to like Web3 concepts, like I mentioned, NFTs and NFT collections along the way. So apart from like a unique and fun gaming experience, we also have like an educational component to this.
Okay. And do you get all the pieces in the pack, or you have to trade and negotiate with others in order to finish these puzzles?
You do have to trade and negotiate with other people. So I think in the puzzle, we had like 16 pieces in total to solve the puzzle. Basically, in the pack, you'd get maybe like 4 or maybe 8 pieces. And so you basically either have to purchase more packs, or you'd have to like trade with somebody else on the marketplace.
All right.
Okay.
I'm gonna
are they all set puzzles? Are they all set puzzles, or can the community generate their own content of puzzles?
The idea is the community should be able to generate their own puzzles, and we've designed the smart contracts to be able to do that, right? The only thing that we do on our part, like without smart contracts, is basically split the puzzle into like different pieces and then upload those individual pieces to the blockchain. So that's the only manual part that we have to do. Otherwise, I think everything is run by smart contracts. Anyone can basically create a puzzle.
All right. Thank you very much. Really appreciate the creativity, some great questions. And we got to move to our next demo. And we had a couple people join. Jeff from Z Creative, do you feel comfortable showing your trailer?
Yes, sir.
All right. Can you introduce yourself and talk a little bit about Z Creative and what you've done here? And then I imagine you can just show the trailer.
Sure thing. Yeah. So hi, everyone. I'm Z Creative, otherwise known as Jeff. And I run a production company. It's called Z Creative Media. And we are based out of Austin, Texas. So when I saw that Saga had this hackathon, I thought this would be a perfect opportunity to push my skills into the AI realm with generative storytelling. So I have been working on this project for a long time called Coralverse, and that's within the Monaverse platform. And so what we needed was a cinematic story, like a trailer that would help really tell the story about why the Coralverse exists. And traditionally, we had done a lot of just storytelling with 2D filmmaking, but we feel like the metaverse and spatial immersive storytelling is just around the corner, and could be a new way of engaging audiences in a way where it kind of builds empathy back into society, because you feel like you're part of the story, you know. Choose your own adventure. So I can maybe, am I able to share the screen to do that, or?
Yeah. So for the sake of the judges, Jeff is submitting, we have one category, which is an AI generated trailer that shows your personal multiverse, your take on the multiverse. So Jeff has done an AI trailer here.
Yes, and what I can do as well is I have a website that I spun up. So maybe it's good to put that in the chat so people can follow along. So before I just kind of jump into the trailer, I could talk a little bit about, and the trailer's on the website, it's the second video there. But the website, I have an allow list. So for people who want to be able to sign up for when minting is available, they'll be able to sign up there. And then these are all the different estates. So a little bit about the Coralverse project before I do the trailer. Each one of these is a different style of architecture. So we've got Gothic, Neoclassical, Art Deco, Art Nouveau, Antonio Gaudi, Cyberpunk, you know, it just goes on and on. But the idea is to bring education around architecture to a new generation of people, and, you know, young and old, actually. And so I've been working with Midjourney to develop these graphics. And then I thought, you know, other than just minting these as NFTs, it would be cool if each individual 2D JPEG could be a blueprint to create a three-dimensional version, like a world that you could own as an NFT as well. And so we set about making a community hub that would link all those spaces together, the first 25 together. And that's what we did. So there's a button to click to enter the Coralverse. And I guess we could do a tour later, because the main thing is, for this project at least, is the cinematic trailer. So I used Runway ML to generate the visuals from a series of stock footage that I collected. And then additionally, what we were able to do is use ChatGPT to generate, to help me come up with a story and a script and a shot list and everything. So, oh yeah, and then we used 11 labs to create the voiceover. We cloned the voice of Alan Watts. And so, yeah, so this is the community hub. You can just kind of get a glimpse of that. But I can go ahead and show the trailer now if that's seems appropriate.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Well, let's see. So we've got Saga final trailer right here. Okay. Oh yeah, and then I guess if it's not coming through well, y'all can watch it on your end from that website that I sent. But I'll just play it on here.
We held paradise in the palm of our hands. So much was lost. Survival alone wasn't enough. Divisions emerged, winners and losers. It was a time of great abundance, but nothing lasts forever. We lost touch of our world. The apathy crystal gave us the power to destroy ourselves. Legends warned of untold devastation, but some of us survived the chaos. We were driven to manifest the archive, to rebuild and steward, fostering a sustainable future. The new architects traveled back through time to reimagine our polluted world. From the ashes of our ruins, the rebellion was sparked. We refused to leave our fate to chance, transformed ourselves, evolved. But those in power misused the apathy crystal without remorse. Truth became twisted, unrecognizable, and ruled by illusions. Only our visions remained. We crafted countless lifetimes into the Oracle archives, preserving our treasured ideas. What remains? Blueprints to rebuild all that was lost. The choral verse became our sanctuary, protecting our resilience. This is your invitation to rewrite our collective destiny. You take the helm in this saga. The choral kingdom begins now.
All right. So that was the cinematic trailer. And yeah, so it was really fun to work on this project. I had never really used AI tools in this type of way. And then right in the middle of it, Runway had gone from Gen 1 of their video generation tool to Gen 2. And so it was interesting to see that I could, start producing visual clips on a whole other level with this new version of the tool, and it was getting spectacular results. So I went back and a lot of the scenes that had generated originally on the Gen 1, I regenerated in the version 2 just to get that much higher level of quality in the outputs. So that was super fascinating. And I don't know how much time I have to present, but maybe we could pause there and reassess.
I also shared a link in the chat to be able to watch the video on Twitter as well. Any comments from the judges on AI generated trailers? That was a really cool project. Thanks for challenging yourself.
My pleasure. Thanks for the opportunity.
Yeah, firstly, really cool to see you use all of these AI tools. I think certainly, I'm sure they boosted your productivity greatly. And I would say that also great to see that you're using Motiverse. Actually, we are investors in Motiverse, and I always love the high fidelity environments, and it's really smoothly running in the browser. Very glad to see that. I guess more of a simple question. Why corals, and who do you envision to hang out in Coralverse?
Yeah, great question. So yeah, thank you about that recognition. That's cool that y'all invest in Mona. I'm a really big proponent, advocate of their tech. And so the question of why coral is, for me, I'm passionate about biodiversity and environmentalism, and the oceans are very unexplored, underexplored. And the idea is like really, we want to bring education around sustainability and ocean cleanup days that could be organized. So I wanted to provide a type of underwater world that merged like all my passions. So architecture is one of them. And so for instance, for a space like this is the Jellyfish Pagoda. This is the first estate to be turned into a 3D world from just the 2D JPEG, blueprint. And so it's a place where we can celebrate different cultures as well. So this is the Japanese pagoda style architecture. So when you jump in here, it teleports you inside. So these are basically collectible worlds that people could, like, this whole space eventually is going to be minted as an NFT. And then when you collect it, you're able to control like what's on the canvases. So you could use this as like a gallery space. You could host events in here. You could do live streams on these canvases. And just, build a community around this type of work.
All right. Thanks a lot. We're gonna have to go to next demo, but really appreciate you showing us the trailer.
Absolutely. Thank you for the opportunity.
Very cool. And you can watch that on Twitter in the chat. So thanks a lot. So next up, I'm gonna call on Dragos from Flipando. Dragos, are you able to join?
Can you hear me?
Thanks for dialing in, yeah.
Okay, happy to be here. Good night from the sunny Vietnam, where I am right now. It's almost midnight here, and I'm happy I was able to join the right meeting, because initially I was joining the Meet meeting. So I'm right in the Zoom one, and everybody's here. Without further ado, let's start. Flipando is a fully on-chain memory game. As as an aside, it was my first attempt at writing a fully on-chain memory game on Solidity, using Solidity. By leveraging proof of attention, Flipando enables the creation of NFT primitives, potentially leading to an on-chain economy of virtual goods. What does that mean? We will start to learn in the next slide, please. So the game goal is to remember the territory. The user starts with an empty matrix of 4x4 initially, and the user taps 2 squares at a time, uncovering the tile behind it. Each tap is a transaction, making the game fully traceable. There are potentially unlimited types of tiles that can be used, and this MVP has color squares, you can see right here, dice, and hexagrams. It means we can uncover tiles made of color square, dice, of hexagram. Let's move forward. After a matrix is solved, it can be turned into an on-chain NFT. We're actually minting an SVG on-chain. The NFT minting process triggers an ERC20 token, which we call Flip, which is locked inside the NFT. One flip, it's one solved NFT. And with that, we're going into the territory of enabling a virtual economy of goods. The flip token can be unlocked only if someone else uses that NFT as a building block for a larger composite NFT made of basic building blocks. In the right, you can see one of these examples, how you can build a tiny character, which we called Flippy. We can go forward. Okay. What are the potential use cases? So first of all, we wanted to create a non-degen, a deceptively simple game able to trigger mass adoption. This is a very, very simple game. It has nothing to do with DeFi, cryptography, proof of work, hashing, or all those cool things that degens talk about, but it has appeal for being played by 3-year-old up to 70-year-old. One of the other use cases is to reduce onboarding friction in any app, game, or event by leveraging visuals. So you can imagine a scenario in which some new game will make custom boards, sponsored boards from this game with logos of companies instead of colored squares or dices, or you can think of brands, treasure hunting goods, or stuff like that. It can also be used as a building block for other games, like creating territory, landscapes, or bricks that can be used in a cross-chain multiverse of metaverse. So that was my demo.
Can you do a live
That was
demo?
not my demo. That was my my
Nice.
presentation.
All right. So can you take over and do a demo?
Yeah, I would very much want to do that. So everybody can see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, so basically we're starting with a very simple game, which was already initialized. Needless to say that we are using Saga Cassiopeia network, and we have everything set up here in MetaMask. We're using a main Evmos account. A main account, which I call Evmos, but it has a lot of flip into it. In the left column, you see that there are already 2 solved matrices, and we already initialized one of the game, which has an ID, and we have 2 lock and flips inside. I will start playing. As you can see, we're assembling the board, and we are sending a transaction on chain. Let's see how fast things are going. Okay, so Flipando is initialized. Now I will start actually playing a game. Let's see how this goes. I tap 2 things. I have already a pending transaction, but we will wait for it. Okay, now it's going. Now this is a red, this is a green. Please believe me that I didn't play this game before. It's a very, very new game. It's actually happening as we are tapping. Let's see what we have here. We should have, okay. So as far as I remember, this is a green and this is a green. Let's see if I remember correctly. And this is a light green, this is a dark green, if I remember correctly. Let's see if this is actually happening. Let's see. This response. Okay, so I uncovered this matrix. Now I can go forward and look at other types of tiles. Now you can imagine, instead of colored squares, I may have dice, and instead of pairing red with red, I would pair 1 with 3. Now, light green and light green should be here, as far as I played this game like thousands of times, so I became quite good at it, you can imagine. So, yes. I won't finish the game because in my timing, it takes between 15 and 20 minutes to finish one tile of this. Instead, I will advance to see what is actually working inside the app. We have a place where we can see our own flips, and we see that we have ready-to-use NFTs here by other people, and we can also see the NFTs that we assembled inside our own artwork. Now, we have a place, which is, I think, is the most important one, which is called the playground. And in the playground, we are seeing which tiles are available for painting. In this case, which tiles made by other people, or to be honest, other accounts, because I'm the one playing. So we can see we have a few tiles here. One of them is dice. A few other here. I think there was a randomness event on the chain because randomness actually didn't work on this one. We couldn't generate random tiles, but we can start looking like this. So if we can take all of these squares and put it like this, and with infinite patience, we can generate something that eventually it will be created as art. If I would have to fill everything like this button will become enabled, and I will actually generate art. Now, my generated art would look like this. This is a placeholder, as you can see. It uses 3 types of tiles, dice, colored squares, and hexagrams here for a nice perspective. And I think that concludes my demo. I would be really curious to hear any questions that everybody has about this.
Yeah, we got a couple minutes for judges.
Thanks. Similar to the first project we saw today, funnily enough, I can see some similarities there. Our question is, what was your revenue model for this project, and who is your typical user?
The typical user is basically any person that wants to improve their memory skills. And the revenue model, I didn't have time in the presentation to go forward, but it's based on the flip token. The flip token, when we are minting a flip fungible token, we are actually splitting that revenue between, it became available to the actual user, but there is also a funding DAO. 10% of the minting flip token go to a funding DAO, to a community token. And there is another revenue model which is already implemented on chain, but there is no UI for it, which is called sponsored games. Meaning that in sponsored games, instead of unlocking one flip token, you can unlock an arbitrary number of flip tokens in each solved board. So you can imagine Balenciaga starts with a thing that wants to make a new board because they launched a new sneaker, and they need to buy a number of, I don't know, 400 flip tokens to actually create and lock those tokens in there. So basically there is a mono token model here. The fungible token is used to actually propel the part that is creating value by selling NFTs inside of the ecosystem. So you can actually create gains only by using flip tokens, and that creates a positive buying pressure for sponsored brands to actually buy this and create sponsored games.
Thanks. And does every user need flip tokens in a MetaMask wallet, or would you have some type of more streamlined onboarding process for non-Web3 users to get involved?
The game was developed in many stages, and I've been through many stages of it, and I participated to another events as well where I got a few prizes. One of the things that I already explored is like implementing account abstraction, which is something that we can actually create, deploy on our own chainlet. We can deploy our own account abstractions and create our own paymasters, because we basically control the entire tokenomics on a Saga chainlet. So we can actually hide the entire complexity of the user needing to have a MetaMask wallet transaction that needs to be signed every time. And there are also a few other options like using human verified proof of personhood like WorldCoin, which I kind of explored a little bit, the SDK. And there's also Polygon ID. We've been happy to be chosen by Polygon at one of the hackathon with this project. There's also Polygon ID, which enables a very seamless sign-up experience without needing to, rely on seed phrases and stuff like that. So I think there is a lot of technology already ready to be used and ready to be assembled into several building blocks. To be honest, this is not my main project. This is a side project, to be honest. I pay rent by writing code. So this is a fun thing to do in my life. And I'm happy that I brought this process up to this level where I can actually present it in front of judges.
Well, thanks so much, and really appreciate the creativity and your input on the Cassiopeia. And
thank you.
And really appreciate the work. And I think the closing ceremony will be on July 5th. After this, the judges will be asked to score the projects, and then we'll let people know. And thanks again, Dragos. So
my pleasure. Thanks for organizing this.
Absolutely. So next up, we got Casimir from Sneaker Hunt. Casimir, are you ready?
Yeah. Hey, how's it going? Should I just screen share?
I can run through this. So the way it'll work, I'll run through the slides. Just walk me through it, and then I'll let you take over and then do a demo.
Okay.
Cool.
Do you have updated deck?
I believe so, unless you got something that changed.
Here, let me see my updated one. Sorry, I popped it in the chat last night. Let me just give it to you.
It might be easier if you've got the updated deck just for you to run through it on your end.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I can do that. Totals.
Go ahead and share.
Okay. Sharing now. Okay, so Sneaker Hunt. Sneaker Hunt is an AR sneaker scavenger hunt game. Think about it similar like Pokemon Go, but for sneakers. And we're running on our Saga chainlet, powered with AI. So the whole point of Sneaker Cred started like a few years back. I was a fellow and I came up with a game that was like a side quest in NBA 2K, whereby which you could go into a sneaker shop and purchase sneakers, and it would give your player boosts and like different in-game actions. And so we kind of tied that in with the concept of like sneaker customizers. When I was a kid, I used to like paint and customize my sneakers, and that's like a whole sub movement. And so we turned that into like a generative aspect of the game, as well as the fact that your player can like essentially own a sneaker box, and then within that sneaker box has different rarity of tokens. And so that's like kind of like the basics behind the gameplay. So Sneaker Hunt combines like location-based augmented reality. We had did a brief demo with Niantic's Lightship. And so part of that demo kind of like inspired what we wanted to present and do with our Saga ecosystem, considering that I had used a lot of the IBC protocol stuff in my patent for Sneaker Hunt. So as I was just mentioning, I've got a patent file based upon my prior work from 2019 while I was a Binance Labs fellow, and it's for the system and method for digital fashion asset through blockchain, which ultimately we want to get to the point where, and this is where we've been looking for funding over the past few years, to be able to 3D print the sneakers based upon the pieces in the sneaker box. Okay, so now I'm going to go through, should I just go straight into the demo?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Right now, there are people buying physical sneakers that they don't even wear, using it as collectibles and as an appreciating asset. The natural progression of this is to bring them into the digital world, which is exactly where we come in.
Okay, looks like I'm going to deploy a rare heal. So description, you can heal sneaker. The contract, increment max to pop up on the transactions. All right, there's my mask. For a minute.
Do you want to talk through what you're doing there? Because I can't really see.
Sure. So basically, the contract is an ERC 1155 smart contract, and it owns and consists of other NFT pieces. And so we basically minted the pieces for you to be able to discover them during the app, during the game. So the object of the game is to collect the pieces of the sneakers. And once you collect the whole sneaker, then you get 3D print.
In the Nike's on my feet, keep my cipher complete. In the Nike's on my feet, keep my cipher complete. In the
So this is the player NFT that I was mentioned that owns a sneaker box. And so this is me basically. I'm gonna deploy now a player NFT that owns player NFT that owns we got royalties. Let's do deploy now. Check my activity. Okay. So I can confirm this transaction. So okay, I got contract interaction. Okay, so that was a contract call there. So I've got another confirmation I have to approve on that transaction. Should get another contract call over here. Yep. Okay, so now this wants me to sign that. I should be good to go. Okay, okie dokes. Looks like it works. Cool. So I got my player NFT, and it's going to have like sneaker boxes and sneaker tokens and other stuff.
How'd you like working with Casio?
I loved working with Casio. It was really easy to get started up. Like I was just showing in my demo, the like the Ether scan was like really dope. Like it immediately spun right on up. I was able to deploy my smart contracts with it. I was able to like get my RPC connection, and everything was really, really smooth. Like it was the smoothest like blockchain setup I've had. I've worked with another blockchain ecosystem called Scale, and this one was like super easy. And then I've also done a ton of research with the Ethermint teams and Tendermint Cosmos ecosystems as part of my Binance Labs fellowship back in 2019. So just happy to see like the IBC stuff like coming to fruition, because a lot of stuff in my patent was like based upon IBC for the win.
We had Jack Samplin in the room. He's the IBC guy, so he'll probably love it.
Hey,
Yeah, Cass, long time no see. Cool to see how far it's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while, huh?
Any comments, Jack or judges, on that super awesome demo?
Yeah, I think that, this fundamental idea around digital collectibles, we were seeing it again with the ordinals. Sneakers have long been this segment where people collect it. It seems to be ripe for movement to a platform like this. So cool to see, Cass, you've made some progress on that. And, maybe with the increase in usability around a lot of this tooling, we can bring in some of those users on this site.
Totally agree.
Just curious, how is IBC being used?
So like part of the concept around Sneaker Hunt obviously began with the Ethereum ecosystems, but I foresaw that the interoperability of metadata across chains was going to be super important, specifically around gameplay and tokenomics. And we've seen a lot of chains get spun up, and there's like been a big push about cross-chain bridges and so forth. And, a lot of my prior work was based around the transportability of metadata across multi-chains.
Could you illustrate that a little bit further? So like, let's say there's a game on another chain and they want to use some of these sneakers. How would that look like?
So yeah, like basically you'd be using the app, the game from your phone. It's a phone application. Like right now it's just on test flight, but it's centered around the idea that gameplay occurs when you discover a new point to pick up a sneaker, and then that metadata is transformed or transacted upon on the blockchain.
What do you mean actually transported there? So like what is the message or asset that's being sent?
Yeah, it's the metadata. So the metadata goes to the JSON RPC connection to the nodes.
Oh, so you can ask for the metadata over IBC.
Yeah.
Ah, okay, in real time. Okay, as you're playing the game. Okay, that's cool.
Excellent. Well, thanks so much for showing that demo. Appreciate it. To all the teams, Flippando, Sneaker Hunt, Override, Z Creative, and we really appreciate KHAI and Stephen BRYSON-HAYNES from Merit Circle and LongHash. Any closing remarks? Maybe Rebecca, if you have any comment. Rebecca is our CEO on all the demos we had today.
Hey, thanks so much, Rex, and thanks so much to all the teams. I mean, I've just been enjoying watching your demos, and I know how much work went into this. So really, really appreciate you guys. There's some very cool innovations happening here. Definitely want to thank KHAI and Steve for being here. KHAI in particular is very late in Singapore, so I really appreciate your making the time. And of course, you know, you come with the thoughtful questions, so I really appreciate it, Steve. We've been working with Merit Circle for a long time. They are an investor in Saga. But Steve, I believe this is the first time that we're really meeting on anything other than Telegram. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. And to all the teams, thanks again. Thanks to our hackathon team at Saga, Rex, James, Tina. Super fun second demo day. There will be one more to go before we wrap things up and really get into the judging process. But really, really cool things built. And happy to hear all the feedback on Casio. I'm glad that it's proving useful for you guys. All right, thanks so much.
All right, well, thank you. And unless DoraHacks has any closing comments, I guess we're at time.
No, I think you guys covered it all. So thanks again, guys, and thanks everyone for joining us today. Special thanks to the judges, the Saga team, and all the participants today. So thanks a lot for your time, and yeah, we'll see you on the next session.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. See you.
Thanks, everyone. Take care.